So let's see my current most favorite 10 fragrances from House of Armaf. Without any further ado, I want to start by Club De Nuit Iconic at number 10, which is a shower jelly, fresh and woody fragrance. At some points reminds me of Bleu de Chanel, but I cannot say it is exact clone of that fragrance. It is like a take or highly inspired by that fragrance, as it is not incensey at the dry down. In the Bleu de Chanel we have that incensey, some sort of smoky dry down, which is missed here. Here instead we have like soft woody vetiver type of dry down. It is like, let's say, mixture of Bleu de Chanel with Dylan Blue by Versace, but leans fresher compared to Versace Dylan Blue, I have to say to this one. In terms of longevity, I get like 8 to 10 hours plus longevity on the skin. Let's say solid 8 hours with 2 hours of good projection and sillage, and complementing factor is definitely there. At number 9, I have a very underrated fragrance from this house, which is at top 10 my most fun fragrances from House of Armaf. I'm talking about Excellus, which is a soft, leathery and sugary sweet type of fragrance with touch of booziness. It is like mixture of Carolina Herrera's CH-Man and CH-Man Privé together. It is not exactly like any of those, but it is like hybrid mixture of both of those fragrances in one bottle, which I believe works great. It is like sugary, leathery, slightly like earthy, muddy, and leather is at the background of the fragrance, exactly like both of those fragrances in one bottle with touch of booziness at the background. It smells very sexy. I wish it was a bit like louder and longer lasting. I can get like 6 hours, 7 hours max longevity with this one. Let's say good 6 hours with first hour and a half average projection and sillage. Let's continue by a polarizing fragrance, which is not for everyone, but if you like it, you're gonna like it. It is one of those niche freshy fragrances, Club De Nuit Milestone, which is a big yes for me, but I can see lots of people also don't like this fragrance. It is Cologne of Millésime Imperial from House of Creed, which is a very outstanding and different smelling type of freshie. I would say it is like salty, tropical, fruity at the top. At the dry down gets a bit more powdery, like iris powdery, and little bit, for whatever reason, I can get muddiness at the background of the fragrance. So let's say to this one, tropical, fruity, salty, earthy and powdery. Notes are not working that much great together, but at the end you have a great fragrance, a different, outstanding, niche smelling freshie. I can get solid 8 to 10 hours plus longevity with this one, with 2 hours of average projection and above average sillage and scent rate. At number 7, again from line of Club De Nuit, another take on another fragrance from House of Creed again. I'm talking about Club De Nuit Sillage, which is a take on Silver Mountain Water from House of Creed. I say a take because I believe it is not exactly like that fragrance, as it is like spicier, woodier compared to that fragrance. That fragrance is musky and silky, and at the dry down gets muskier, but this one at the dry down gets woodier. So that's why I believe it is also good. Leans more masculine even compared to the Silver Mountain Water. But yeah, it is not as silky and smooth as Silver Mountain Water. With this one I can get exactly 10 hours plus in terms of longevity, with 2 hours of good projection and very good sillage, which is impossible with the real stuff with Silver Mountain Water. Number 6 is one of the longest lasting Armaf fragrances and also one of the longest lasting fresh fragrances in entire my collection. Without any exaggeration, I'm talking about Club De Nuit Private Key to My Life. I have few fragrances from this house that are leaking from atomizer. This is one of those, and damn, this is very oily, like even as concentrated as cooking oil. I have to say to this one, very greasy, oily. So about scent profile, man, it is very beautiful. It is like very citrusy, very little inky. Maybe it is because of vetiver at the background of the fragrance, and gets woodier at the dry down with added sweetness. But sweetness is here very summery, well balanced and not overwhelming type of sweetness. It is at the point. I really like it. Reminds me of Bulgari Tiger, but not exact clone of that fragrance, as it is woodier compared to the Bulgari Tiger. And even I like this one better as it is longer lasting and has more weight to it compared to the Bulgari Tiger. I can get like 12-14 hours plus longevity with this one, which is awesome for this type of freshie, and projection and sillage is good to 3 hours. Number 5 is my absolute favorite from this house. It is at number 5 because I love it, not because it is better or more complimented, because I really love this scent profile and it is extremely unfairly underrated. I'm talking about Bois Luxura or Bois Luxura, Bois Luxura, luxury. I don't know. I think the true pronunciation is Bois Luxura. So, damn, it is beautiful. If you like a very mature, citrusy, freshy, leafy type of fragrance, let's say a bit dirty at the point, like classy type of dirty, a freshy fragrance that has weight to it, this is a must try for you, a must have for you, considering the price. Oh, damn beautiful. It is Colognes Aqua Fahrenheit, which is discontinued from House of Dior, exactly like that fragrance. Lasts like 6-7 hours plus in terms of longevity, with first hour and a half average projection and sillage. Not one of my most complimented fragrances or at all complimented fragrances from House of Armaf, but I really love it. Number 4 is one of the most crowded fragrances from this house. Ton of notes, accords, nuances and other fragrances are here available in one bottle. I'm talking about this beautiful hybrid Club De Nuit Urban Man Elixir, which is like improved version of Hunter Intense. Nothing new, but like polished and more rounded and crowded version of Hunter Intense. It is like Paco Rabanne Invictus, Dior Sauvage. At the top we have little bit like Creed Aventus, only at the opening. Why EDP is also there, that fuzziness. And at the dry down we have some sort of sweet earthiness, which reminds me of Colognes. Very crowded, very complex and different type of fragrance. I really like it. Lasts on me solid 8 to 10 hours plus, let's say good 8 hours with 2 hours of good projection and sillage. At number 3, this is also one of the longest lasting Armaf fragrances in my collection, and also at some point it is underrated, needs more attention. I'm talking about Club De Nuit Private Key To My Dreams, which is a woody, sexy, spicy type of fragrance with touch of sweetness at the background. Reminds me of Stronger With You and Azaro, the most wanted parfum, let's say, because of that pronounced and let's say prominent cardamom note. Leans closer to Azaro, the most wanted side, rather than Stronger With You. It is like hybrid of both of those fragrances with added more woodiness. It is way woodier compared to both of those fragrances. Lasts on me solid 10 hours, 12 hours plus in terms of longevity, and projection and sillage is very good for first 2-3 hours. Number 2 is another great job from this house, which I believe it is a must-have in any man's collection. Yeah, it is a bit expensive. Another issue, it is 50 ml, but yes, it is definitely a full bottle worthy fragrance. I'm talking about Precieux, Club De Nuit Precieux, which is very close to Absolute Aventus by Creed, but not as pronounced, as dense as that fragrance, but definitely you get that fragrance here. Pretty close, but not as pronounced, let's say, to this one. It is like fresh citrusy at the top and the woody at the dry down. With this one I can get 10-12 hours plus longevity, but let's say good 10 hours with 2 hours of, or barely 3 hours of good projection and sillage, let's say, to this one. Let's say good first 2 hours projection and sillage, and definitely it is a solid compliment getter. Without any further ado, at number 1 I have here 2 fragrances which are hands down at top 5 most complimented fragrances in entire my collection. Here, Club De Nuit Intense Man EDP and limited edition. I don't like them equally. I like EDP better, you know it. It is more rounded, more polished, more fruity, enough smoky. But this one is not, at the opening is not fruity, and it is like a smoky bump. So if you have a tight collection and you want to pick one, I believe this is limited edition is a better value for the money. But for me, I don't care. I have a ton of fragrances, so I like that rounded polished opening and woodier dry down, and both of these fragrances get equally compliments, I would say. I don't know, maybe because I wear it more, I remember more compliments with EDP, but as I said, this is a better value for the money if you want to pick only one. So Club De Nuit Intense Man EDP and limited edition at number 1. Take care, guys.